Hi again, this is Doug Williams with Viva Las Vegas Autos, bringing another way cool vehicle. This is a 1989 Volkswagen Westfalia camper. This is the full version with all the kitchen features and the kitchenette and everything inside, the 2 beds. We're going to go over this and what it all has, but just to give you a little background on these. Back in 1993, I was working at a Lincoln Mercury dealership, and we had an opportunity where a trade-in came in, a 1991 full camper GL loaded with 9,600 miles on it, and I had to own it. I had always known about these vehicles and I was so excited. So I have a lot of experience with Volkswagen campers. In my career, in my owning my own business and selling classic cars, since 2002, I've probably owned about, I'm going to say 30 to 35 various different versions of a Westfalia camper, from the first generations of the old windowed buses in a Westfalia camper to this generation of camper, the second generation Westfalia, and even on to the third, which was the Winnebago. I've loved these vehicles. They're literally, if anywhere, out of all the classic cars I've ever had, if somebody were to say, what's your favorite all-time vehicle that you love? The Westfalia camper. It's just the usefulness and the utility of it, the fun, the in a moment's get out and pack it full of camping gear and fishing gear and be able to hit the pavement and get out there to the dirt and the rivers and the areas for camping is just unparalleled what this car can do and what this vehicle can do. So let's take a moment and we'll talk about this particular 1989, and you'll see a lot of great things because this one is an exceptional vehicle. So I located this 1989 Volkswagen Westfalia Vanagon out in Moab, Utah, which, if you've heard of Moab, it's like a desert Disneyland with some beautiful backgrounds. The folks had it there, had it for quite a few years. They'd enjoyed it, camping in their area and going all over. And I think possibly 2 prior owners. It looked like the original owner of this thing maybe just had it for a short period of time, maybe a few years, and then he sold it to another couple that had it for quite a few years. And then my couple, you'll be able to see the time frame on my eBay presentation on the dates on this thing, but they had it prior to that. But this only has 125,000 original miles on it. The body, although not flawlessly perfect, is in exceptional rust-free condition. 90% of it is original paint and in just beautiful, beautiful shape. I did a lot of refurbishing on it just because I like to when I get these things, like the Westfalia logo at the top there. That's all brand new. I refurbished front and rear bumpers because they're just scratched up and nasty looking. I refurbished the grills. That's a new emblem on that Volkswagen right there. So I do little things, even the little caps here. I like my details to be finished. These little caps were missing, which is common. They break and they age. So I redid those. But and the grill was all refinished and painted, so you can see how pretty that is and how exact we did it in my shop. So I take the time to make these things really have that as good as they can be, both mechanically and visually and cosmetically. And this one is top shelf as far as originality. It's not a restored unit. It's just a extremely clean, well maintained, which you'll be able to see the full maintenance log back to brand new in the presentation. So take a look at that. That's important. But I even redid the wheel covers, sandblasted those down, cleaned those up, and refinished those. Got tires on there that probably don't have more than a couple thousand miles on them, if that. The top and the seals are all new. The canvas top, when that's popped, you'll see in the pictures, is new. They also replaced these units here on the side for your electrical. Those are all Go Westy replacements. I also bought that little mud flap there. None of the stuff is too expensive, but it just over the years, a lot of these things just don't get replaced, and I decided I wanted to have this one be as nice as it could possibly be. And really, for the body, as you can see, the body's just in exceptional condition. Just normal chips and dings in the paint. There's, on this driver's side, It's definitely absolutely gorgeous. Even the lower valance is in good shape underneath. The glass on it is in great shape. I think it has one little chip right there, and that's it. Not cracked out or anything like that. The top is beautiful, the fiberglass up there, and then as you can see there, it also has a an awning and a Yakima boat ramp or a rack on top for putting canoes or whatever you want. Going down this side of the vehicle, you'll be able to see a little bit of a dent. I put that on. I hate to say it, but I curbed around my corner wall at my shop a little bit too close, and I was so upset. But you know, she's not perfect. A little bit of a dent there that you can see. Again, even the paint's not even cracked on that one. But the way I see it is people, including myself, like these because they can go camping in them. You're driving down dirt roads and things like that. I could spend, you know, $1,000, $1,500, maybe $2,000 and repaint this side. But then it would look so much nicer than the other side that has rock chips and stuff like that. So what's the point of spending, you know, probably $5,000 or thereabouts, cheaper or whatever, I don't know, to have this whole thing repainted, have it look like brand spanking new, for somebody to take it and look at it and say, hey, do I want to go camping in this spotless vehicle? Well, look at my reflection in there. This thing's pretty daggone nice, and unless you're looking, you really don't see those small dents. So I just like to save money for my clients, and I know the people because I've been one myself that enjoy these, and you know what? They don't have to be perfect. You can see down the side of that van just how small those imperfections are. I'd call them blemishes, and you know, some people want to say, oh, that's a lot of damage down the side. Well, if that's a lot of damage, I'd hate to see, you know, a crushed inside. I actually went up to Utah to look at a camper van that had been in a rollover, and the guy told me the thing was in mint condition. A rollover is not mint. Anyways, this rear bumper was had a few mars on it and blemishes. I again completely refurbished that rear bumper to original spec, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Your door struts on this thing work. It's got the camper towing package on there, so you put maybe a small canoe. I think these things will tow up to a couple 1,000 pounds is all, not very much. But again, you can see the condition is exceptional on the outside. And again, you'll see in the pictures that I really show up with a lot more information with the pictures. I've got 265 pictures of this van and every inch inside and out. So let's take a look at the inside. Now, normally I'll go to the front door here and, you know, brag about the front seats and what kind of condition they are, and actually they're in great shape. But on a camper van, the brag is not in the front area. The brag is in the back. All the equipment in the back is just beautiful. As you can see inside here, door panels are excellent and unmodified. Nobody's, you know, put on different wood or metal parts here. This is how the vehicle was when it came from the factory. Those are the original seats. Inside, these armrests are commonly broken. Not so much broken, but they wear out in a little pin that's in there, and the pin gets dropped out, and then these things flop all over the place and flop down. It's a bear to fix them, but I wanted this vehicle again fixed, so I took the time to remove these armrests, which is an hour-long task, and fix it. The dash on this thing is beautiful. I've seen a lot of campers over the years. I look for campers every single day of my life, looking for good campers. You know, the dash is beautiful and uncracked. It's in gorgeous shape. The headliner up above, beautiful condition. Carpets, I actually had to clean a lot of red dirt, Moab dirt out of this thing, and man, talk about shampooing. It took me a minute, but these carpets are beautiful now. And I think I took probably 50 pounds of red dirt out of this vehicle. Again, more importantly, is the fact that there is no rust on it. This unit also has some nice features on it. It does have the power mirrors on it, but I'm not going to brag about them. The reason why is because for whatever reason, the power switch doesn't work. And I read into it, and it is a pain in the butt, and it's usually within the wiring that's between the door, somewhere in there. And everybody who talks about it says, you know what, put the power mirrors where you want them, and you'll probably never move them. And that's exactly what the owner told me. And I know that I've only had one that ever, my 91 that I had, those work because it's like brand new. But we have all the books and manuals on this, everything. We have all the service history dating back to brand new on this. And we know that the people who had this thing never were in any major accidents, no major damage. They did have some repaints here and there. There's panels. I know that this door sheet, the outside, was replaced, and probably somebody did just like what I did on the door. But that was some body work that had been done on this vehicle, and they did it factory spec, and it looks flawless. Floor, it's got the vinyl cover, which is a factory option. Then underneath you got beautiful vinyl floor, undamaged. The kitchenette and the cabinetry inside this vehicle is in excellent shape. The only thing that you commonly see on these is where the rubber seals, with time, the heat just kind of shrinks them down, and that's about it. We did test the fridge. It works perfectly. We tested the oven or stove. They work perfectly, and so does the water. So everything that's on this van is actually functional. And all your lights inside work and stuff like that too, which is really cool. And then another special feature that the owners had put in there was an extraordinary heater. That's the thermostat unit and a blower. And then down here, it's actually installed underneath the seat here, and with the vents for the system to go out the underside of the vehicle. And you'll see those in the pictures as well. But this thing can really put out some heat to warm this up. So for those winter campers, it's kind of great. If you look in here also, see there's a plug there. Well, that plug goes to this battery tender unit. This system has 2 batteries in it. You've got one that sits underneath the passenger seat, and then there's another battery system set up underneath the driver's seat. So it's got dual batteries, one for the coach basically, and then when you plug this thing in, it will continue to charge this thing and give it a trickle charge, keeping it up and ready for you. This seat, for those who don't know, lays down into a bed. And then up above, with the pop top open, that opens up, and there's another bed up there. You'll notice the vents up here. Well, this car has air conditioning, and it has functional air conditioning, because I spent $2,500 literally replacing the entire system. Was told also that the compressor was the last OEM factory compressor in the United States. I had to pay some money for that, but I got a factory OEM compressor in this thing. So, but I like my car's original, so there it is. It's all original, which is cool. So, and again, inside and out, just really exceptional, great condition. Take a minute, and don't want to raise the top because this is more about test driving, but you'll see in the pictures the brand new canvas top that is in excellent condition. This is the rear, and it's in excellent condition. The engine is underneath there, and you'll see how pretty and clean that is. That was detailed out and cleaned. So you can see how fun this vehicle is and how really great shape it is. Again, little details like that right there, and the Westfalia emblem at the top took care of that. Actually, I also redid the Vanagon, a GL, although a little piece of it fell off, I can see, because I did actually replace that from Go Westy with replacement material put over top, the original. So it's pretty cool. Of course, the awning comes out to about, I'm going to say 8 feet or so, and it's also a lighted awning, which is really cool. There's a LED lighted awning underneath there, so when you can sit out at night, plug it into your system in here, and it will actually give you light underneath the awning, which is really cool. So let's take this thing for a spin here. Let's show you how this thing drives and performs, because it drives and performs, and the air conditioning blows ice cold, and it is in great, great shape. Alrighty, let's take this thing for a drive. Sorry about the sunglasses, but the sun's in my eyes. You can listen to this thing. Sounds great. There's 125,121 miles on it. No engine lights, no warning lights on, my brakes on. So we're gonna take this thing for a spin. And one thing that is fantastic about these Volkswagen campers, I love the ride quality of them. You sit right over top of the wheels, and they just have a floating feel to them because you're sitting kind of almost in front of the wheels, actually, but the wheels are literally sitting right underneath your butt. The front wheels are. So these things actually have a sweet ride feel to them. They're quiet and quite frankly fun to drive. Every time I get in these things, I love the great big steering wheel. It's fun to turn around corners and stuff like that. You feel like you're driving a bus. And most people that know of these have either been in one or, like me, wanted it forever. And now let's see, 93 is when I got my first one. I can honestly say I've never ever been disappointed in my ownership of any of the 30 plus, at least close to 35 that I've owned. They're just fun to drive. They don't have a lot of power. There's a lot of guys that do modifications by putting Subaru motors and all sorts of different motors in these things. I'm not a fond member of that group. I mean, they can do all the modifications they want, but I've always enjoyed originality with my vehicles, and I prefer it over a Subaru motor in it or whatever. And again, going up a hill, it might make a bit of a difference, but you know, if you're in a hurry to get somewhere, to go camping, I'm sorry, but that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Usually when you get in these with all your camping gear and fishing gear in the back, the whole idea is you really don't give a shit. You're out to have fun and enjoy yourself, and you just left work for the weekend and you're ready to move on and have a good time. And this vehicle enables that. It also enables you to drive right into your garage. It's one of the reasons I've loved these, is this vehicle allows you to drive into a normal, regular size garage door opening without having to worry about the top being taken off. Although I would not have the Yakima racks on there if I did that. But even parking garages, you can drive into a parking garage with this vehicle, where otherwise you would not be able to in any other type of big camper or high top campers or whatever. They just don't do that. These are designed to be as useful utilitarian wise, like literally going to the hardware store, you put a 4x8 sheet of wood in the back of this thing. It's got a lot of cargo space, which enables you to really fill it up with groceries if you want. Gas mileage is great on them too. They're just an all-around great vehicle to drive. Like I said, I've loved them. They're great. Air conditioning is pretty much even though it's brand new. See where those vents are? See where my neck is and my bald head is? Okay, well, air conditioning comes right over the top of my head, cools my head off, cools the back of my neck, and you know what? That's about all it cools, because I'm not getting any forced air from the front of the vehicle. That's cold. But I'll tell you, it's better than nothing. And all the ones that I've enjoyed the most had air conditioning. Why? Because that's what I like here in Nevada. It's hot. So to have even a little bit of air conditioning for me, but it'll freeze your kids out back there. I'll tell you that much. If they're sitting down there, they got vents that point down to them, it's going to get cold for them. But up here, you just get a nice, cool feeling on your head, and that's about it. So again, it's kind of fun in that sense, but it's just really not the most ingenious air conditioning system on the planet. So I do tell my clients, as far as the eBay sale and auction goes, you need to know something. If you send me an email saying, what's your bottom line, what's your reserve, that completely defeats the purpose of an auction. Wake up, people. I know it's an auction. You know it's an auction.
The reserve price is not out there because then it'd just be a classified, wouldn't it now? The idea behind a reserve auction is that I know the figure I'm willing to sell it for. If you want to know that, call me. Pick up the phone. Say, hello, I'd like to buy the vehicle and I'm willing to offer you this. Does that meet your reserve or better? Well, if it even doesn't meet my reserve, I might just sell it to you if I like you. If you're an ass, no. I'll just tell you, no, dude, that's just kicking me right in the nuts and I don't want to sell it to you because you're just being rude and showing me a lowball offer. But I'll tell you, I don't do lowball cars. So if you're into lowball offers, go look for a lowball vehicle. It's not as nice as this one. This one is exceptionally nice, all the way around, top to bottom. If that's what you want, I'm not going to be the cheapest guy, but I'm also not going to be that guy asking, $80,000, $90,000 for something that's not worth that. So I just ask that if you are serious and you want to own one of these, you want to own one of the best out there, pick up your phone, my phone number's listed, give me a holler and let's talk. Say, hi, Doug Williams. I want that van, it's so nice. Let's make a deal and I'll be that nicest guy on the line. So 702-353-7500. Let's put this deal together. Thanks again. We'll see you. Bye-bye.